Good evening, everybody. This is Joshua with Baller-to-Bogey. Tonight, I am here with Terry Faggins, a Oklahoma State Cowboy alum who also played in the CBA. He is a basketball player now turned golfer as well, and also the owner of CAYA, CAYA Golf, which is an application. You can check them off at CAYA golf.com. But again, I will let Terry introduce himself to tell us a little bit about himself there. So Terry, thank you for taking the time out to talk with us tonight.
Yeah, no problem. I can talk about golf and basketball all day long, all week long. But yeah, my name is Terry Faggins. Like you said, played basketball at Oklahoma State. Uh, um, After that, I started playing professional. I played on CBA team. I played on two teams in the CBA, which is first one was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is right down the road from Stillwater, which Stillwater is where Oklahoma State is at. And then the next one was Oklahoma City, which is the other way, which is about the same distance away, Oklahoma City, about an hour away, just like Tulsa. So I played there. Played in CBA, I don't know, probably 7, 8 years, probably.
Okay.
And at the time, I was at about 3 years there. I played overseas and CBA at the same time. So when the season would end overseas, I would come back about mid-season CBA here and just play year round. So I was young and just running like a wild animal.
Okay. What countries were you playing in when you were overseas?
Well, the country I was in, Israel. Israel is where I was at. Played there for 3 years, but we played in the European Cup, so we played all over Europe and some of the Middle East. We played in Turkey, Greece, France, Hungary, places like that.
Okay. How would you compare the American fans to the Middle East and the European fans as far as sports go?
Oh man, it was American fans are a lot tamer. Let's just put it like that.
Okay. So, basketball being your first sport and, taking care of your college tuition and everything like that. So what was it that got you into playing golf?
I don't know. It wasn't anything that was specific. So what happened was I was playing professional basketball in CBA. So it was in the summertime, and I'd come home, and in the summer we just go to the gym and work out. Play about an hour and a half, 2 hours basketball. And that's my normal day. I did it every day in the summertime. One day I went over and there was nobody there, so I came home early. Some friends came to the house that day and said they're going golfing, and they had to talk me into it. So that's kind of how I got started. They drugged me out to the golf course. I don't know. We probably got out there about 3 o'clock. I personally didn't leave the golf course till about 11 o'clock that night. So I was out there at night on the putting green. I got hooked that quick.
So was it that they actually went to the course or they just went to the driving range?
No, they went to course play, and I've never played before. So I borrowed clubs from somebody and went out there. And one of the guys it was 5 of us. One of the guys in the group, he said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll show you what to do, what club to hit, and all of this stuff." So he's the best player in the group, so he's teaching me. And we played 9 holes. When the 9 hole was over, we had the exact same score. So I tied the best player in the group on my first round. So I was automatically hooked.
First time ever swinging the sticks.
First time ever swinging the stick, the score I shot on 9 holes was 55 now. So that's not a good number. But I'm telling you, I was hitting the ball solid and feeling good. It was going way right. Half the time you couldn't find it, but I ended up shooting 55 and tying the best guy. So I'm thinking, man, I'm pretty good at this. So
55 is a number that I still carry even to this day, 6 years in.
Okay.
So
Okay.
basically, could we say that your early success with trying golf out is what made it attractive to you?
No, I don't really think that's the case. For me, competition is what it is. So I'm going to compete. So here's a game that's so difficult You see some people, I shot 55 my first round. You see other people shooting, 35 or something like that. Why can't I? It doesn't matter that's my first time or second time. Why? So I'm going to compete. So that's what gets me into the game. And as you know, this game will challenge you. And that's right up my alley. So challenge me and I'm going to get after it.
Okay. So when you took up golf, you were still playing in the CBA, correct?
Yes.
So at that point, during the season or postseason or while you were overseas, did you try to make a habit of getting out to play, or was it kind of just you put golf on the shelf until the summertime when you had a little bit of downtime in your?
No, once I got hooked on it, no, just any moment I could find, and have enough money to go to course, that's what I'm going to do. It wasn't put on the shelf at all. It just whenever I can get out there. So during the season, I didn't have as much time, but if I did have a little bit of time, I'm going to the golf course. So that's kind of what it was. When I was playing CBA and the portion I was playing CBA and not playing overseas as well, so I had a little summertime free time. It was golf every day.
Okay, living the life.
Yeah, that was great. I had a couple months there that I could just do it every day, and that's what I did.
Okay, so now this is the second half. I like to call golf my second life. Basketball used to be my first life. Golf is my second life. So outside of golf, what else? What career path have you taken after the CBA?
Well, I'm still the job that I took after I was done playing. I'm still doing it. So I've only had one job in my life, I say. So, and that's I work for the city of Stillwater, and we do the mapping for the city. We do all the mapping stuff. So that's kind of what I do, the GIS for the city.
Okay.
So that's
my
my big
second major. So geography was my second major, and
Okay.
I had to do the GIS courses and the tech
Okay.
to be certified in it. And my brother actually works for the city of Winston-Salem, and he does that. So
Okay.
yeah, so I definitely.
Okay. That's good. That's what I do.
Okay, so now knowing that part, and then back to golf, what would you say? Do you have an official handicap?
Oh man, so you're gonna get into a long story on the handicap deal.
So what had happened was,
Yeah, no. So I've been playing. I don't know since I was 27. So about 29 years I've been playing golf. I've seen handicap come in, and I've seen handicap. I'm not excited about the handicap system. Uh, uh, it just doesn't work in my area and the guys I play with. So I do. I have established a handicap. I only pay for the service when I'm going to play an official event, meaning an Oklahoma Open or U.S. Open qualifier, something like that, where you have to say this is my handicap, and so that's when I'll pay for it. But normally I don't. The last time I saw my handicap index, it was probably a plus 2.3 or something. But I mean, so yeah, we can get into that conversation. Huh?
So you're scoring in the 70s.
Oh yeah. That's it took me about I was claiming to be a scratch golfer after 4 years of golf. So I've been playing at that level for a long time. Yes.
Okay. So when you play now, do you have a designated yardage, so to speak, that you play from, or is it when you walk on the course, you're going straight to the tips and you play?
I go straight to the tips. It's only a few courses I've ran into where the tips has been too long for me. I mean, especially at my age now. It's starting. Some courses are getting long. There's one course in Maumelle, Arkansas, which is about 15 minutes from Little Rock.
Okay.
I have somebody that lives there. His course from the back tees. I mean, I'm hitting driver 3-wood and to like 4 or 5 par 4s, which is I think is too long. And then our Oklahoma State golf course where the players play.
Yeah.
That course from the back tees is too long. I have about 5 or 6 par 4s that I hit 3-woods into. So that gets a little long. I generally like a golf course to play around 7,000 yards. which is which is pretty good for me. I'm pretty comfortable on that number. I don't like them to be too short. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
Well, you definitely, I was going to say, if you're striking the ball well and you're getting the distance, then, 7,000, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But for other people where, like you were saying, when you first started playing, everything you hit was going right, you still have that problem, then 7,000 can turn into a real long day for.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. It can. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, what do you have in the bag? What clubs are you playing?
Ooh, man, my bag is kind of all over the place. Personally, I like the look of Titleist golf clubs. Right now, I'm playing the orange AP2s. I don't know if you know what they are. AP2s, but they're the 2010 model, so
Okay.
they're old. I carry in those irons, those are from 3-iron to a pitching wedge. That's the AP2s. I have 2 Vokey wedges, a 52 and a 56 degree wedges. I have a 3-wood, which is an Adams tight lie. And I don't know how old it is. It's more than 10 years old because I had that before I got the irons. And I have a hybrid that I use, a 2 hybrid, which is a Ben Hogan a hybrid, and it's old as well. I don't know how old it is. But the thing with me on golf clubs, I think I'm a little different than most people. I know you got a new set, the ones that look like hybrids. I guess I saw.
Like some
But for me,
yeah.
yeah, they look like rescue woods. But I think it's perfect for your game after seeing a few of your shots. But for me, when I pick up a club and set it down, it has to look good. If it's asking me questions or talking to me, making some kind of noise when I put it down, meaning, man, this club looks a little closed or it doesn't set just right, then that's what makes me decide. If it doesn't ask me anything or say anything to me, I just put it down. It feels good, looks good. Then that's the club I want. So that's why my clubs are so old. Just because it's tough to find that club that just doesn't say anything, that would just say, hey, grab me and swing me. And so that's kind of how I look at it.
So out all these years, nothing said, Terry, come pick me up.
No, it's not that. I mean, I like to have everything in my bag of Titleist. A few years ago, I'll look at them as they go on. They haven't really said that to me. Hey, pick me up and sweet. Now, recently there have been some, but I just hadn't decided to spend the money on them. I mean, I guess I can, but I just haven't done it. These clubs that I have, they feel good. I know how they work. I know how far they go. And to me, just hit it in the fairway, hit it on the green, and try to figure out how to make a birdie from there. That's kind of how I play the game. I mean, I'm going to be as efficient as possible. That's kind of the makeup of how I get after the golf game.
Excellent. So with being such a big fan of Titleist, should I assume that you also play Titleist golf balls as well?
I play the Pro V1 X is my main ball, and sometime in the winter I will play just the regular Pro V, the black number that's a little bit softer. So if I have a little bit thinner shot, it's not as damaging to the hands as the Pro V1 X. But yes, the Pro V1 X, less spin, fly is consistent flying. But I'm gonna tell you, I mean, now. Back in the day, it was different, but now I can get any golf ball out there and play it. It doesn't matter.
So that was actually going to roll me into my next question with, you just mentioning how irons is so important to you. Can you tell a drastic difference in playing one golf ball as compared to another?
Not today, I can't. 10 years ago, I would say so. I can go to Walmart. I can get the worst golf ball. It doesn't matter. Whatever they say the worst ball is, I think they all operate, pretty consistently. I think everybody's got pretty good at it with the golf ball. Irons. I can go to Walmart and get a set of irons, play the same golf. So it doesn't really affect me that much. I don't believe.
Okay. So, I mentioned earlier in the introduction about the the CAYA, CAYA golf app. Am I pronouncing that right, CAYA?
Yeah, CAYA. CAYA is perfect.
So could you just talk to us a little bit about that and just, explain it?
Okay, yeah, CAYA is born out of the GEN system, the GEN handicap system. So in my area, we play golf all the time. And over the years, everybody was trying to use this GEN system. But what I notice is every time we get on the tee box, the guy who negotiates the best wins the game. It's not based on the handicap. They're going to say, well, I'm going to give you this many strokes. Well, my handicap says this. Well, that's wrong. So it's an argument every time you get on the tee. Well, you get too many strokes. And then the best player, I'm not giving you that many strokes. So it becomes a negotiation. Yeah. So I decided to come up with something where to eliminate, advantages in the system and the negotiation. Now, me personally, I believe I'm a good negotiator. And over the years, I win all the time, but that's not what I want. My whole goal is to compete. So if I walk on the tee box with Josh, I want to compete with Josh and not have a negotiation where I think I'm going to win that one because I'm a negotiator. And plus, I have a skill level that I think I can, beat you with. But if I create a system that allows us to be as equal as possible, walking on that tee box, no conversation has to be had. You walk on the tee box talking smack to me, that's what I want. It's just like playing basketball. You talking smack to me, I'm gonna show you who's the best player. But so that's kind of how CAYA got started. My guys that I play with, we got 5, 6, 7, 8 handicap, and some guys shoot 90s. But that's not competition for me. If you shoot 5 over, you're going to get beaten. And I don't even have to work hard to beat you. That's the key. So I wanted to create a system that would allow me to have to play. I have to shoot even par or under par to compete in this system. So my guy's shooting 80. I still got to shoot even par or under par. I can't slack off and still beat you. That's the key. So CAYA golf, CAYA is an acronym. It means compete against your average. So that's what CAYA means. I don't really like the name, but it's stuck, CAYA. So it means compete against your average. So what you do is, so when you play golf, you're supposed to score. So every hole you're supposed to score. So over time, 10, 15, 20 scores, you generate an average on the hole. So hole 1, my average may be like a 4.1. You walk on that hole, your average may be a 6.1. So you and I are competing, but we have a different par, meaning I got to make a 4, you got to make a 6. You make a 6, I make a 4. Guess what? We got the same score. So anytime you beat that average, you generate 10 points. You make 6, I make 4, because we beat that 4.1 and that 6.1. We both get 10 points. So we do that through 18 holes. So whoever get the most 10s, that wins. So my thing with golf, and the reason, because I think about this stuff a lot. The reason I generate CAYA is I look at the golf. Golf was only designed. It was only designed for scratch golfers. I see you're thinking about it a little bit and why I say that. But the thing is, and the reason, let me tell you why I say that. If you walk on a hole, on a par 4, do you stand on that hole and say, okay, I'm going to hit this in the fairway, hit it on the green, and 2-putt max? Is that your thought process? You personally?
Thought process right now? Nah. If that was my thought process, it'd be a good.
Yeah. And so and Terrence Griggs, you did, I guess, one of your buddies. That's not his process, right? So why is this hole a par 4? That in my mind, why is that a par 4? Why is that a par 4 for you? So my thing is, it shouldn't be a par 4 for you, right? So right there, I have an advantage because I'm the scratch golfer who thinks this way: fairway, green, 2-putt max. I have a psychological advantage over you. If you pop one up, slice one in the woods, you're defeated on the hole because you're not going to get that par that they say it is. But say your number is a 6. Well, I slice it in the woods, I chip it out and try to get it on the green and make a 6. Now we're on equal footing. So that's the whole thought process behind it. And so CAYA is that way. And that's why I call it's a system is a scoring system that does not require a handicap. It's not a handicap system. It's just you have a different par than I have. And the philosophy behind that, every day you get out of bed, you can get up, and if you can always be better than average, right? Yeah, I mean, just what you average, you can always be better than that, right? So every hole you go out there to, it's your average score. You can always be better than that. So every day you can win at golf because of that. So that's the basis of the system, is being better than average. And so when people start playing this, well, that makes sense. And now you find, and the thing is, they don't negotiate. There's no sandbagging words that you hear. There's none of that goes on. So when you go out and play with Richard Joyce, the interview you had at like a 2-3 handicap, you go out there feeling good that you can beat him. The only thing that needs to happen is competition. Can you outcompete him? You guys have different numbers. Can you outcompete him? So that's the basis. There's no segregation. There's no segregation in the system. It doesn't matter what tee you play for. You have a number from the. If I play the back tees and I decide to go up to the red tees or the short tees, I'm gonna have a different number that I have to compete to. So that's the basis. It doesn't matter anything. You can be lady. You can be a 33 handicapper like Terrence, or you can be me. They're all the same. So that's kind of the basis of the system. It's the proof of concept. I created this thing in 2012, and we just now started using it a couple of years ago, and I got it online and in a website form, and we're using it. And the proof of concept, we have tournaments under that format as well. We have 3 different tournaments. We have individual tournaments, team tournaments, which you can have 2 to 12 players on the team, and scrambles as well. But the scrambles are only 2-man scrambles, and I do that on purpose because I like to have 2 opponents on the same tee box, so you have 4 people in a group. But so that's what. So I try to eliminate a lot of things. So CAYA Golf, that's what that is. And right now I have the web app up, and we use that. And right now I'm building the mobile app, because that's what the users are asking for. So
yeah. Well, you just made me feel like I got a fighting chance on every single tee box.
Well, that's my whole thing. That's the smile I want to see, is you saying, okay, I have a chance. It doesn't matter what your game is. Hey, I have a chance to beat anybody on the team. And sometimes we have tournaments that includes pros like Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods. Those, I have them in the tournament as well. And as they play where they play, you put their score in, and we compete against those guys. So that's another deal. Is, hey, they have numbers. They may be on a par 4. They may be a 3.7. They got a birdie to hole. I get to go make a 4. So we're competing. So that's the basis of the system, and it works for everybody. And so you can walk on the tee box with the scratch golfer and say, hey, I got you today. I'm feeling good. I'm going to be better than average. That's all it's about, being better than average. And everybody can do that.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. And, definitely looking forward to, the mobile app coming out. That way, get up to the tee box and everybody pulls out their phones and,
yes,
can get the score rolling that way.
That's what that's about.
The different courses, and you just talked a little bit earlier about the Oklahoma State University, the Stillwater course. What would you say is the most difficult course that you have played?
Well, I don't know, probably the Oklahoma State golf course. Carson Creek is it's a world-class course. I mean, and I don't know if you know.
It's a top 100, isn't it?
Huh?
It's a top 100, I believe, isn't it?
Probably so. I don't know how they rank those, and I really don't pay attention to those kind of. I know you read a lot of magazines and watch video. I don't pay attention to those kind of things, but yeah, it's highly rated. University course, and it's a great golf course. I don't play it that much because it's way too expensive, but I have played it quite a bit. Now, I haven't paid for one round. I hope nobody sees this, but I was always sponsored somehow to be on it. So I played, but it's a very difficult course, and I don't know if you notice how many Oklahoma State golfers are on the PGA Tour or come through Oklahoma State that plays professional golfers.
Wolf right now is the biggest name.
What now?
Wolf?
Yeah, Matt Wolf, the guy hitting a mile. You got Matt Wolf, you got Victor Hovland. I think he just win, or Echo. Yeah, all of these guys, Oklahoma State players. So, great golf course, great program. So, Yes, it's a very difficult golf course. Greens are fast. It can be as long as you want it to be. You got to hit the ball in the right spot, or you're going to have a little trouble. So that's probably why we produce. Well, they were producing before they had that course, but that's probably one of the reasons they produce so many great, professional golfers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, and I was just thinking, Wolf is probably the biggest name,
Biggest name now, yes.
out of Oklahoma State that is making a lot of noise on the PGA. And the thing that stands out is definitely, I know he hits it far, but he does that whole little, turn.
He does a hit.
Half twist. And, the first time I saw it, I was kind of like, what is this guy doing? And then he took that ball off the tee. And I was
Yeah, but that's okay. So those kind of things are exciting for me in golf, because that's the way I look at golf. He's got this strange looking thing, but the only thing he does is make it efficient. This is what he does. He gets out of bed. He can do this every day. He's not up there trying to figure out, okay, I need to be on this plane and this. This is where I look at golf. You don't have to be I take my club back and I'm across the line. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters to me is what happens at the golf ball. Do I draw it 5-10 yards? That's my thing.
I definitely compare to somebody's free throw routine.
Yes.
Did you see that guy? There are times when I've seen some players, as soon as the referee throws them the ball, they catch it, they put it up. Then there's, some folks that do the 1, 2, 3, let me spin the ball, get the seams aligned. So it's, it's all about a routine that makes it, feel good to you, when the ball's coming off your fingertips. So I look at Wolf's kind of like his routine the same way as, shooting free throws. You got a set that you go through. This is what feels good, and that's what's going to put it in.
Yeah, those are the trigger things. I mean, if you miss one, if you take 3 dribbles and you don't do one of them, the trigger's broken, and then you psychologically you're thinking about something. So those are the things you do every time to allow you to perform at your best, and the whole thing is being consistent. You look at Matt Wolf. If he doesn't do his little hitch, his trigger's broken. Now what's going to happen to the golf ball? He could hit it off the hosel. I mean, Jim Furyk, same way. I mean, he's got the strange swing. The biggest case that you notice is somebody's trigger being broken. That's Charles Barkley. His trigger got broken. He got a golf lesson. This way I understand it. He got a golf lesson, and apparently somebody told him to pause at the top. That completely screwed everything up. Now he can't stop pausing. So his trigger broke. He has nothing to start his downswing with. So he'll get there and he starts shaking, trying to release it, kind of like a guy who stutters.
Did you see the match? Did you see Barkley perform in the match with Mickelson?
Yeah, I saw some of that match. Yeah,
like night and day as compared to the old highlight clips of Barkley with the driver, and just like you said,
So he's night and day. So the thing he did with Hank Haney on ESPN, whatever he was doing, I mean, that was only working on the physical part of his game. His physical game is not broken. His physical game is not broken. It's the psychology of his game is broken. That's what needs to be. He needs to lay on the couch and talk to somebody. He don't need to go to the range. That's his issue. And I wish I can get to him, because that's where his game is broke. It's psychologically. It's not. That's like Dennis Rodman. I don't know if you know him as a basketball player, Dennis Rodman. So when he plays for the Detroit Pistons,
the greatest rebounder of all time.
Yeah, rebounder, just hard worker. I watched him in college, but when he played for the Detroit Pistons, can't shoot a free throw. But when I was playing at the same time, so in the summertime we play in Dallas in tournaments all the time. All the NBA. Dennis Rodman would shoot threes and shoot free throws all day long, but for them he can't make a free throw, and it's a psychological thing. His job is to work hard, get all the rebounds, and bang people up. That's what his job was. So in the summertime, you think he can't shoot, he's going to light you up. And I've seen it. I mean, I played against a lot of great players, and that's just the way it is. I mean, he is one of those guys that the psychological parts of it that gets to you. He just can't do it as a professional basketball player.
Okay. All right. So before we go and wrap this up, there's always, that last thing that I like to do with everybody is ask what club you're hitting. So on the screen, I know you see it. This is a course that you played out in Hawaii, Ko Olina Golf Club. 195 yards from the red tees. So, Mr. Faggins, if you can remember back to when you played this course, what club did you decide to hit, or would you hit off of this par 3 right here?
What? How far did you say that was? 190.
195.
195. So yeah, that's from the red tees. I don't believe that's the case. If it's the same hole I'm thinking of, I played that hole. It's a waterfall on that hole, and I took pictures on that waterfall. I wish I could share that picture with you. I don't know how, but we took pictures on that hole, on that tee, and I didn't play the red tees. I played the very back tees. On that hole, I hit a 6-iron.
Okay.
That was in 2011, and the reason I remember that shot is because it landed about 8 inches just past the hole, and I ended up with about a 4.5, 5 foot putt. And I missed a birdie putt to the right. I missed the whole hole for about 2 inches, and my buddy kind of got all over me. But if that's the same hole, I believe it is, because I did some research and try to find it. But yeah,
number 14 was the waterfall.
Okay, 14. So that was a different hole. So this hole, I can't tell you what happened. But if it's 195 from the reds, I don't know what it is from the black, probably 205. I don't know, 2 something. I'm probably gonna hit a 3-iron into that. That's what I'm probably gonna hit. Back then. Now I'm gonna have to hit the 2-iron. Maybe 3 wood. I don't know.
Hey, I know everybody talks about, at some point as they get older, their game transitions and their club selection transitions. But, I can tell you for myself, 195, I'm using a 5 wood.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's
too much. I'm like, that's what works for me.
Yeah, that's the whole key is you got to know your game, how far the ball's going to go, and it's not a muscle contest. It's figuring out how to get it in the hole. That's what you're going to be judging on. Either you're gonna get it in there as quick as possible, or you're gonna look good in front of your buddies while you're digging it out of the trees. I don't know.
Or with my ball retriever trying to get it out of the water right there.
Yeah. I guess you told a story about a par 5 you could reach into and then you hit it in the water, made a double or something. I don't know.
That was recent. I told myself, it was like, just go for it. And I turned my hips and I aimed across the water, and I was like, "You're gonna get there and splash."
Yeah. No, that's just golf. I mean, golf is that difficult. It will wear you out if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, it's a tough game and it's challenging, and it keeps you focused. I think you look at the game a little different than me. Watching a few of your videos and what you talk about, you see the game differently than I do. But it was pretty interesting watching Terrence's video, because he completely thinks about the game completely different than I do. So you got a low handicapper with a high handicapper, and they see the game completely different. But my whole idea is to merge those two, where it doesn't matter how you play the game, and then that's what I'm after. So that's kind of why CAYA was developed and still being developed.
Okay. All right, so for anybody that definitely needs the words of wisdom that Mr. Faggins provided for us today, again, it is CAYAGolf.com. And Mr. Faggins, we appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us, to talk about your game, coming from basketball into golf, and about the program. Look forward to the app, because I'll definitely tell you, if I start playing with folks and you got the mobile app ready, I'm like, hey, pull out y'all's phone so we can go ahead and get this synchronized and, give guys like me a fighting chance that we're definitely not close to the par of 70 or 71 or 72, but, again, like you said, competing against our average to be able to enjoy playing against other people.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you're welcome. Just the system allows you to, be as competitive in golf as you are in basketball. That's the whole thing. You're competitive in basketball. You can take that straight to the golf course. Doesn't matter your ability. So that's the thing. Bring your competition. If you can compete, that's all you need. Doesn't matter how you score the game.
Sounds good.